In this video, I'm going to show you how to use Google Forms to create a questionnaire. So if you want to create a survey or a questionnaire with multiple questions to choose from, then the first thing we need to do is just head over to the website google.com and make sure you're signed into your Google account. You can then click on this square icon to bring up the Google Apps, and then we're just going to scroll all the way down until you find the option for Forms and go and click on this. Now, once you're on Forms, there's a few different options. You can either go and create a new form using one of the pre-made templates. Now typically I like to just select blank form, and I'll be showing you how to set this up in this video. Now if you scroll down, you'll also be able to find all of the forms that you've created in the past. So we're just going to click on blank form and then come up to the top left hand side and go and give this document a name. So I'll just be calling this survey. You can also enter a description for your questionnaire. This is optional. And now we can start creating the questions for our questionnaire. So you can see that by default, one question will already be added down here for you. So we're just going to change this with our question. So I'm going to type, what is your age? And then click on the drop down arrow next to multiple choice. And then you can go and select the type of input that you're expecting for this question. So for the question, what is your age? We're typically going to want a place where people can go and enter their own answer. So to do that, I'm just going to press short answer, and that's going to give the user the option to enter some text in this field here. Now, obviously there's a bunch of different inputs that you can select here. There's different checkboxes and drop down lists, and this ultimately comes down to the question that you're asking. So for example, I could go and change this to a checkbox, and then I can go and add different responses. So for example, I could put something between the ages of 16 to 24. I can then go and add another checkbox response. And for this one, maybe I'd have 24 to 25. And you get the point. We can just basically keep going here and adding as many responses as we need. Now, another thing you can do is you can go and make this question required. So what that means is this person won't be able to submit the form until they filled out this question. So you can leave it as optional or you can make it mandatory. It's entirely up to you. So here's our first question, and now to go and add another question to your form, you can click on this plus icon, and then we can go and add the second question. And you can basically keep adding these to as many questions as you want to include in your form. Now you can also reorder the questions as well in this form by dragging this icon here, and we can move the different positions of each of the questions. Now if there's certain elements or certain things that you want to remove from your form, you can always press the settings button, and then we can scroll down to form defaults and click on the drop down arrow, and it will say collect email addresses by default. You can either set this to do not collect verified or responder input, so you can make it so the person filling out this form needs to go and enter their email address, or you can just not collect emails at all and select do not collect. So for example, if I go and select responder input and then I come back over to my form, you can see at the top here we now have this email field, and all of the people that go and submit your form and submit their email, this will be collected in the back end, and I'll show you how to go and view this in just a second. Now if you want to change any of the styling on your form, you can also do that as well by clicking the customize theme button, and from here you can change all of the different fonts and the sizes, also the colors as well. You can even add a background color to your form, and this really just comes down to personal preference. Now you can also click on this preview button, and that's going to show you what this form looks like for other people. So when you go and send someone the link to this form, this is exactly what they'll see. So now I'm just going to close out of this window. Another important thing is this tab called responses, and this is where all of the submissions to your forms are going to be recorded. So when someone submits a form and their email address, it's all going to be recorded in this responses tab. Now you can see at the moment it will say this message, no responses, publish your form to start accepting responses. So the first thing we need to do is actually click on the publish button in the top right hand side. Make sure the responders is set to anyone with the link, and then we can go and press publish. So now what we can do is we can go and click on this share icon in the top navigation, and you can either invite people directly via their email address, and that will go and send them an email with an invite to this survey, or what you can do instead is press the copy responder link button and press done. You can then go and send this link to whoever you want to fill out your survey. So for example, if I go and paste that into the address bar, it will take them directly over to our survey, and they can now fill this out, and once the form's filled out, it will be sent over to our responses. So that's how you use Google Forms. Let me know in the comments if you found this video helpful.